All right, Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name is Allen Devlin. I'm an anchor with Atlanta News First. Today is Monday, October 9th. Thank you again for joining me. We're going to jump right into some of our top stories here today. We've got a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about at the local level this time around. After I'm done there, we're going to run right into weather and have meteorologist Patrick Pete talk to you guys about what is going to continue to be a cool morning, warmer afternoon type week, heading into a very busy weekend for Atlanta News First. We've got a Mayor's 5K Saturday morning. We've got a breast cancer walk Saturday as well. And then we've got the Pride Parade that's being broadcasted on Peachtree TV on Sunday morning. So a lot of stuff going on for you and your week and your weekend. We'll walk you through all of it as soon as that time comes. First thing I want to talk to you guys about here is we're going to take a trip over to Stone Mountain, where Stone Mountain itself is facing legal action over the decision to show or not show some of its Confederate monuments. So we've got Yasmina Alston was out there today talking to some players involved in this. If you actually go to Stone Mountain, you might be surprised to see after all these years that the Confederate flag that usually is seen flying at the base of the hiking trail up the mountain is no longer there. And that's kind of where this thing really sparked up.
Not obeying the law. It's as simple as that. The law is very clear.
That's the message the Sons of Confederate Veterans has for those in charge at Stone Mountain Park. The group's spokesperson says they detailed their concerns to the Stone Mountain Memorial Association, giving them notice to a pending lawsuit. Martin O'Toole says there are three main concerns. According to the group, the Confederate flags put up at the beginning of the trailhead were moved to what they argue is a less visible place, saying by law they should be moved to a place of similar prominence.
Flags are defined as a memorial or a monument, and that they're to be placed in a location of similar prominence. Well, when they tell you that we've put it there where people don't have to see it unless they want to, that's not similarly prominent.
O'Toole says the group has always worked well with the Parks Association, though the last couple of years have resulted in some conversation between the two. In their notice, the Sons of Confederate Veterans also claim the large carving on the mountain isn't being maintained, and they believe the changes are not in line with the park's original purpose as a monument to the Confederacy.
They've already taken out the Confederate and federal memorabilia from Heritage Hall, and they plan to turn that into more or less a civil rights museum, which is not what Stone Mountain Park is supposed to be under the law. The law says it's got two purposes, as a memorial to the Confederacy and as a natural resource center. That's under neither of those, so they're acting outside their legislative mandate.
And there you have it. So that's something that is continuing to kind of roll forward here as far as what this will look like, what it'll end up being. Yasmina Alston's going to stay on top of it. She'll keep us all updated as those things unfold over in Stone Mountain. Moving along here, the next story I want to talk to you guys about is a story that's still kind of impacting people to this hour. Asia Wilson's here in Atlanta, where a GSU dorm, off-campus dorm, actually caught fire earlier today, and it forced an evacuation for several floors in the dorm, where students right now are trying to find somewhere else to live. So not only are you just dealing with, the stresses that come with being in college, but you're now looking for different housing. To start off your week this Monday, midterms are coming up real soon for GSU students, and a lot of these students don't have a place to call their own. The school's working alongside the students to figure out where they can go, and right now we still don't know what actually started that fire or who started that fire. It's one of those things that's developing at this hour. Like I said, Asia Wilson is over there right now trying to piece this one together. This is right here in Atlanta, right off downtown Atlanta, where the campus is, one of their dorms. Thankfully nobody was injured and there's no major damage, but those sprinklers did come on, and that can be a mess. It does its job, puts out any fires on the floor, but it drenches everything else. A lot of water damage left behind. So you really feel bad for those students that are just trying to deal with closing out their midterms here. And now they're, of course, having to go find somewhere else to live. We're going to be sure the campus makes and stays on top of that for those students. We'll have that coming up at 10 and 11 on Peachtree TV and WANF with a full report on everything that happened there. The last story I want to talk to you guys about here is one that we have been covering for a while. A deacon was tased by Atlanta police after a minor crash and died as a result of that tasing. The medical examiner's office came out and said that it was a combination of the tasing and some pre-existing heart conditions that the deacon had, Deacon Hullman, that caused his death that day. The family of the Deacon Hullman, continuously demanding that they see this body camera video. Only portions of it has been released to this point. They want to see everything.
Well, big developments in this case. The Hullman family says District Attorney Fonnie Willis has agreed to release this body cam footage to the public. Now, this is something their family has been continuing to fight for. This is them walking into the Fulton County Courthouse Monday on their continued battle for justice. The 62-year-old deacon was arrested and tased after he allegedly refused to sign a traffic ticket in early August. The autopsy report has ruled his death a homicide. Meanwhile, the GBI has urged the Atlanta Police Department not to publicly release the video until the investigation is complete. His family had this to say on the outcome of today's meeting.
We heard what she said, and we feel as though she heard what we said. But at the end of the day, we're still seeking for this video to be released, and we're going to continue to fight for justice all the way to the very end until we see justice for our father.
The family says, according to the district attorney's office, the video will be released once every witness in the case has been interviewed, and that could happen as soon as Thursday. Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
So obviously that's one that is continuing to develop, and it's something we've been following, kept our eyes on the whole time. We've got a slew of reporters who have been going back and forth with the Hullman family and the city. And Andre Dickens came out, like you heard him say. He wants this body camera video released. It's just a part of that ongoing investigation. They have their systems in place, their logistical systems in place that require certain things be done before that kind of stuff is actually released to the public. So those are the three stories I want to talk to you guys about today. Now we're going to jump right into, as promised, the weather. We've got meteorologist Patrick Pete here, who, Patrick, pretty much things have been a lot, I guess, more fall-like than they were. Like 2 weeks ago, we were in the 80s and the 90s. You wake up now, you're in the 50s in some places, and it kind of carries on, my man.
Man, we're loving it. A lot of folks have been asking for the cool down. I've been walking into the newsroom in the early afternoons, and I'm smelling pumpkin spice latte. So apparently that's the thing here. I'm gonna let y'all live your best life.
Oh, you mean Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Just regular coffee, a little bit of sugar, no cream. That's all it takes for me. But hey, fall-like weather is here. I like hoodies, and this is hoodie weather, and we're pretty dry right now. The forecast has been pretty dry for the large part of the last couple of weeks, but we are going to see some of our better opportunities for rain come into view as we head through the next couple of days. So I want you to be aware of that. Rain opportunities are pretty isolated as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. It looks like that best chance for rain will be south of the city, along and south of I-20. Meanwhile, better opportunities for more of us to pick up on some rain as we head into your Friday. This is a series of different systems that are going to be moving through the area, so we'll dive into all of that over the course of the next couple of minutes. So, good evening, happy Monday. It's good to be back. I had a little bit of a shift in schedule last week, so meteorologist Cutter Martin was with you in the evenings, but I will be here with you at least for the next couple of days. So let's get through with this forecast here. And I've showed you the lower rain opportunities the next few days. I think we're going to see lots of sunshine tomorrow. Clouds are going to gradually build, especially as we head later into the afternoon. Will become partly cloudy, but I don't expect that to have much of an impact on our temperatures. We're going to be dealing with a breezy west-southwesterly wind, and that's going to help get those numbers into the upper 70s, and I even think some locations are going to get into the 80s tomorrow afternoon. So after a bit of a mild or borderline chilly start, we get into the 70s before lunchtime, and then we're hanging out near 80 for the bulk of the afternoon. The clouds thicken up, but a gorgeous day, a little breezy, so if your hair is a little bit longer than mine, may be a good idea to throw it in a ponytail. Meanwhile, clouds are going to increase as we head into your Wednesday. That's going to have temperatures near 60 degrees for the morning. As we head into the afternoon, slowly climbing into the upper 60s for most of the region. And notice how we're dry, but then we start to see a little bit of moisture trickling in. This is all from technically something that I'm going to show you coming in a few minutes in the tropical update. There's an area of low pressure that is in the Gulf of Mexico. There's not really a conducive environment right now for there to be much in the way of development, but it's still going to be a deep tropical low that's going to move inland, and that's going to be the chance for rain. And it looks like the best chance for that will be across middle and south Georgia, but some of that's going to trickle into some of our southernmost communities. So here's that rain chance at about 30% late Wednesday afternoon when folks are driving home, mainly south of the city. You see how that there are some spotty showers that'll make it a little bit further north inside the perimeter. Could see some light rain, but the heavier stuff will be south. Meanwhile, there's that low pushing to the east. By Thursday morning, I do expect most of us to be drying out from that system. But then we're watching because there's actually another low that's actually a tropical system in the Pacific Ocean that's going to move in behind that. That's going to increase the southwesterly flow. It's going to bring in more moisture. And then there's a cold front. So whenever you have southerly flow moving in, that typically is going to be a warm front, even though it's associated with the low. That's going to bring that rain chance that I was telling you about. That's going to be the best chance for us to see widespread rain on Friday. That's this system that's moving in. And then that cold front's going to slide in from the north. You can kind of see that happening. The two are going to merge, and that's going to equal that early Saturday rain opportunity. Right now, it's trending like most of us aren't going to get the Saturday part of the rain, but there's a chance. There's a little bit of moisture around. There's going to be a collision of this low and this front, so we're going to watch that. For now, we're just keeping you aware that there's that chance for at least the early rain on Saturday. That could be extended to mid-afternoon if the system slows down. And that's what's been happening over the course of the last couple of days. The guidance has been slowing that cold front down, which has led to our rain chances shifting a little bit. So it's always a dance this time of year. Fall is a transitional season, so the seasons are battling it out. So we'll just have to continue to fine-tune that timing of that front on Saturday. But what we are very confident about is that Sunday will be drier and it will trend much cooler. So if you had any plans to get out and about, I don't know if you've been catching us on ANF Plus like we are right now, or on our YouTube channel, or if you've been catching the actual newscast, but we've been talking about during the newscast how a large collection of Atlanta News First employees, we're all going to be not only at the Pride Parade this weekend, but we're going to be in it. I think Allen's actually hosting an event on Saturday, and he's going to be in the parade on Sunday with all of us. Sunday is going to be a little bit cooler, so that's going to be a day that, we're probably all going to have our little puffy ANF jackets, Atlanta News First jackets on, at least just to keep us a little bit comfortable, because topping out in the mid-60s means that there's going to be at least that element of chill for a large chunk of the day, despite there being a lot of sunshine. So I think it's a gorgeous day for a parade. Don't get me wrong, 60s, mid-60s this time of year is still a sweet spot. It's a win. But we're going to trend a little bit cooler as we head into Monday as well, all courtesy of that same front. So I think the middle part of this week is going to be mainly gloomy. Wednesday, Thursday, along and south of I-20, could see some spotty showers late Wednesday, early Thursday morning. Other than that, the clouds dominate the story until the real rain moves in on Friday, ahead of a system that's going to bring at least a low-end morning rain chance on Saturday, and then we dry out for the weekend. So still lots happening, still watching an area of low pressure in the Atlantic that we're actually expecting to become a depression within the next day or two. So we'll keep you updated on that. We could even see an update on that progression this evening, because I was looking at it and it's definitely getting its act together. You can kind of see that it's trying to get a well-established center of circulation, and it's just going to be based off of whatever the reconnaissance that comes in over the next few minutes or so can tell us about what they're seeing as far as the observations from satellite and stuff. So we'll have that update for you tonight on Peachtree TV at 10. Meteorologist Fred Campagna is actually going to be holding down that whole hour for you. And if you are going to be eating a late dinner, dessert, having, a little wind down Monday, because sometimes you need that, you can catch him again on Atlanta News First at 11. So I'll leave you with the 7-day, and hopefully you will catch us in about an hour and 45 minutes. Happy Monday.